Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this little training session we're going to have. This little training session is all about customer service and what are our expectations in regards to this. So hopefully by the end of today's training session, you will gain an insight into customer service within TRICARE and what our expectations are. So customer service. What is customer service? What do we expect when we go out in customer service? First impressions. First impressions is what it's all about. 56% of people will never use a company again after receiving poor customer service. The downside to that is our residents can't go anywhere else, so our customer service has to always be top notch. We have to give great first impressions every time. 52% of people will tell family and friends about their experience. That happens all the time in aged care as well. We have government agencies that people can complain to about customer service, complain to about things that we haven't done right or things that we can do better. There's an internal complaint system and there's also an external complaints system. Generally, 54% of people escalate to a supervisor or a manager. So in our instance, most of our customer service complaints will go to the facility manager, and after that, it will go to head office or to the various government agencies like QADA and the Aged Care Quality Agency. So residents may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. It's all about how we make them feel. This is their home. Customer service is the act of taking care of the residents' needs by providing professional, helpful and high quality assistance. It's not a new concept. Saying hello, good afternoon, thank you are all part of customer service for any business using good manners. It's appropriate for all situations. We always start with courtesy and respect. You can see by the little graph here, timely response. We need to make sure that we deal with residents' complaints. If a resident asks for something, by all means, straight away grab it for them and then return to them. Always have clear and accurate communication. I know sometimes they might be a little hard to understand the residents. If you can't understand them, find somebody who can, who may have a better understanding. Always follow up with what the residents wish. If the residents want something bizarre, just come and let somebody know and we'll do the best to accommodate their request. Lastly, we have to be accountable. We can't just go, oh, not my problem. We have to be accountable for our own actions and our own customer service. So how you can help? So customer service, or looking after our residents and their families, it's not a new concept to any industry. Usually we think of customer service in retail or hospitality, but when you look at what's involved, it's essential to any role in TRICARE. The requirement is to provide quality service. Customer service is embedded in our aged care legislation and also TRICARE's policies and procedures. So it's not an attitude, it is an attitude I should say, not a department. We always need to go the extra mile, and customer service is all about knocking on a door and asking if you can enter rather than just walking in. Introduce yourself to the resident, explain why you're there. You're there to get a meal order, you're there to make them a cup of tea or a coffee. Always say please and thank you. Our parents taught us that from day one, so, please and thank you. Always ask if any assistance is needed. Don't assume they want or don't want your help. Always just ask. And always take time to chat with them. I know we can get busy in our days, but a few minutes here and there to have a chat is never a bad thing. And if you promise to do something within a certain time, for example, if you say I'll be back in 5 minutes, try and be back in 5 minutes. We need to not delay our service, but if we can't get back to them, we need to let them know that we need to find another alternative for them. Always use the resident's name. If you're not sure of their name, you can always check the dietary list. All their names and room numbers are in there. The residents need to know who they're talking with, and it's more of a personal approach rather than them just being a resident. So customer service is affected by the culture experienced at our facility. Our culture is the atmosphere of our home, of the resident's home. It's how someone feels when they walk around the facility. Do they see smiling faces, offers of assistance, or are we unhappy? Are we ignoring people? So we need to be aware of our attitudes, how we react, how we think, how we interact with other people. We need to be aware of how others are treating people, and don't be afraid to say something if you hear something that's not right. Always be open to change, guys. We need to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem. We also need to make sure we convey to the residents exactly what we mean. We need to listen to them, listen to their families, and gain understanding. Always try and use positive words. Be polite, be real, stay cheerful. No matter how bad our days are, the residents don't need to see that. And never end a conversation without confirming the resident is happy. For example, you could say to them, "Is there anything more I can do for you right now?" But our residents were raised in the days where they judged a person by their manners. Good service and manners were drilled into them by their parents, and they pass that standard on to their children. So the expectations we need to match and give the residents the respect they deserve are our 7 golden rules. So all tea and coffee to be served in a cup with a saucer and teaspoon. Slop trolleys, dirty dishes. Let's keep the trolleys out of the dining rooms, keep them in the kitchens, the serveries, corridors. Soup, served in crockery bowls with a soup spoon, not a dessert spoon. Serve one table first and finish the whole table before moving on. Always start at a separate table each day, don't start at the same table. Only provide soup, tea, coffee when the resident requests. Don't just dump it on the table and run. Always try and check your trolley, make sure it's complete before it leaves the kitchen. And last but not least, nothing is ever too much trouble, especially a smile. Okay, so just a few more key points. Always treat the residents with dignity and respect. Have a neat and welcoming appearance and environment. Acknowledge the resident with a smile and be polite. Greet the customers by name, don't ignore them or be rude. Always have a positive attitude and be flexible with your time. Adjust it to meet the residents' needs and show a bit of patience. If you can help now, then by all means help them out. If you can't, let them know you'll get back to them. Always try and be aware of cultural differences. If you make a mistake, apologise. They understand that, it's a fast, busy environment. We all make mistakes, but we can apologise, fix the mistake, and then move forward. Know how to handle complaints. If you're not sure on how to handle complaints, we will follow up with training on that. Be mindful of the impact of what you say as well and what you do around others. And take ownership of the request. Don't pass it on to someone else. Take ownership, own it, and we can move on from there. So at TRICARE, we also work under the Code of Conduct, which states employees in TRICARE aged care residents will work and live in an environment of mutual respect, dignity and courtesy at all times. To respect someone is to have regard for someone's feelings, wishes or rights. So in the aged care, the concept is enforced by the Charter of Care Recipients, rights and responsibilities. So basically at the end of the day, we are in the residents' homes, and we're here to provide the best and highest level of service that we can provide in the catering department. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah, we do cover customer service training in our essential training that all staff complete every year. This is just an added little training session that we are doing just for the catering team, just so we can all be on the same page. If there's no more questions, guys, I'm going to hand out some feedback forms. I'd just like you to fill those in and leave them on the table as you leave. Thank you very much, guys.